All right, here we go. All right, about to get started here in a minute. Okay. All right, man. Ooh. Feel like I'm playing catch up with y'all, man, because I had to step away for a couple of days, man. You know, birthday weekend and all, so I've been chilling. Just doing things. So I said, let me take a little breather. Started to come back and do some videos Friday, but I said, shoot, let me take a little chill, man. And man, we had like an overload of fights too. Had an overload of fights. So I said, I got to catch up tonight, man. I had to catch up Saturday night on into Sunday morning. Went to bed late, woke up late. So, 2 days, I guess it was a break. It wasn't much of a break, but Because now I'm catching up watching fights to talk about them with y'all, so. But let's see, man. We'll get started here in a minute. Just got to check something here real quick. And we can rock. We can rock. 1 second. Okay. All right, we got a few people in here. Let's see. Marcus Bell, what's going on? BJ, what's going on? Yeah. So we going all the way back to Friday. We'll do a little bit of talk here. I'm gonna have to split this up, though. We probably talk some more about these fights. This whole this whole weekend. Like this whole weekend started with Friday. Had some boxing to watch, MMA. But it's on. And there go Robert Henry. Yes, you will hear it. You're gonna hear it. I wonder if I should start off with that first. Should we talk? I don't know. Should we talk Carla versus Jan first, or should we talk about Friday's fights first? What order should we go in? Yeah, I don't know. Let me think. Yeah, Mr. Lee, what's going on? All right, Robert Henry, Marcus, and BJ. So I don't know what order we're gonna talk. We're gonna start at the 5 minute mark. So as soon as we start the 5 minute mark, we're just gonna go with it. Just gonna go with it, man. Like I said, just want to come over here and talk this WMMA conversation with y'all. We're gonna get to it anyway. We're gonna get to the main fight that we want to talk about. That main strawweight fight. That quote unquote title eliminator. We're gonna get to it. All right, so let me see. Less than a minute, we'll get started. BJ said, Jan is hype job. Told these fools to quit jumping on these hype trains. Experience is the best tool to have. You're going to learn. Exactly. You're going to learn. Like I said, the only reason I was giving Jan a big chance is because of her momentum. You know what I mean? Like, that was the only reason I was really giving her a chance. Like, to go in there and maybe upset Carla, but nobody really wanted to admit that Carla was the favorite going into this fight. Like, Carla's done so much more through her resume than Xianon has. Like, I like the names that Jan had on her resume, but there was still something about the names like Carolina, Claudia. Those names weren't really what they used to be. But we're going to hold off on it. Thanks, everybody, for coming back. We're getting started now. Welcome back to another live stream. Like I said, it's been my birthday weekend. I've been kind of chilling out. And yeah, I feel like I had to come back and watch a bunch of fights, man. Like 2 days and like over 14, 15 fights took place. So I was like up watching fights late last night into the morning. I watched the whole Invicta card starting at like 1 a.m. this morning. I watched that whole card up until like 4 in the morning. Then I jumped on the Bellator card, watched the prelims, watched some of that this afternoon. And yeah, it was just like that, man. It's just been one of them weekends, man. I said I got to get away first. I said I gotta go do something for me, And that's what I did, man. Ernest Richardson, what's going on? TJJ, what's up? So I said I had to get away, man. I just had to get away just for 2 days at least. Let me do that. So yeah, I'm gonna talk the main fights that took place on Friday. Invicta FC, Bellator, and we'll talk UFC. These fights that I got up here. Throughout the week we'll talk some more about the other stuff that took place. But first, I want to just start with Invicta Access TV. The main event, the flyweight fight between Karina Rodriguez and Diana Torquato. That was a good fight. It was a good banger. Man. And my first reaction or first impression of Invicta FC being on Access TV, I got to say I liked it. I mean, there seemed like there was a couple of freezy moments because I was using the app and then I went to YouTube. I don't know if it was just like my Xbox, the way it was like streaming the app, but I thought I was having a couple moments where it would kind of like freeze up a little bit. I don't know if it was the camera work on their side, but I thought overall, like Invicta FC on Access, I was just glad to see it back. It seemed like, a couple of shaky moments, but the card seemed pretty straight. The card for the most part seemed straight. As far as production, presentation, it was the same. It was, it was just like it used to be. Jumping from UFC Fight Pass to Access TV, but the fights were good. Overall, the 6 fights, they were pretty decent. We had some stoppages in there. Oh, man, yeah. The one fight I wanted to talk about real quick, too, with co-main event. I don't know if y'all watched the Elisa Zappatella versus Jessica Del Boni fight, but that fight, oh, man, like, I know I say to beat the champion, you got to beat the champion. To beat the champion, you got to beat the champion. But I thought Jessica Del Boni did enough to win the fight. Honestly, I thought Jessica Del Boni, she did enough to go in there and control Elisa Zappatella. But the judges saw different, and they let the champion keep their belt. That's why I say, man, you can't leave it in the hands of the judges, man. Like, Elisa Zappatella had her moments, but I felt like Del Boni was controlling the fight. I felt like she was really controlling the fight with her leg kicks, her pressure, her 1-2s. I mean, she was holding back a little bit. Jessica Del Boni was holding back a little bit. I thought she should let go more, but she just didn't. She just kind of held back and let Elisa Zappatella play catch up at times. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I kind of feel like she was robbed. I hate to say robbery in a close fight, but I think she was robbed. Like, I had it first time I looked at it last night. I gave it 4 rounds to 1 for Jessica Del Boni. Second time I had it 3 rounds to 2 for Jessica Del Boni. I did not have Elisa Zappatella winning this fight. I just didn't think she was doing enough. Like, she didn't get any takedowns in this fight. Jessica Del Boni, she stuffed all the takedowns. She was ripping that lead leg of Elisa Zappatella, and she was just overall controlling the center of the octagon. Zappatella was landing her right hand at times. When she would close that distance, she was landing a good right hand, but it was for the most part telegraphed. For the most part, her right hand was telegraphed. She really couldn't follow up with it, because Jessica Del Boni was letting her hands go in the pocket. So my overall take of the fight, I'll break it down later in a separate video, but I thought Del Boni just did enough to win the fight. I had it 3 rounds to 2. One judge had, I think, Del Boni winning. Did one have I don't know if one judge had her winning every single round just about, but I thought she did enough. For some reason, when Jessica Del Boni went back to her corner crying, they were like, she already won. I was like, don't do it. I was like, the minute you start crying, you know you're not going to get this decision. And sure enough, she didn't get the decision. So I was like, she should have held off on the tears, you know? I mean, because it was one of them situations where they do that. Like, if the champion doesn't get knocked down or if the champion doesn't get taken down, they won't give you the fight. Like, I don't understand MMA judges sometimes. Like, you could go in there, beat him to death with your hands. You know, Alicia Zapatella's lip was bleeding. Her lead leg was ripped up. You could see her dragging her leg a little bit. I was just like, okay, that should be enough to win these rounds. Up to round 4, I was like, okay, it's tied. It's tied. Round 5, Jessica Durboni, she did enough to take it. Let's be honest, she did enough to take it. Yeah, Ernest. Alicia's leg was red as a beet, man. It was red, like she was dragging it. And yeah, Miss Lee, I think she was robbed. You know, so it's just like that, man. It's just like that. Sometimes I say you got to go in there and you got to look for the submission. I think Jessica Delboni has some decent groundwork. That should have been her moment to go in there and take her down and finish this fight, you know? Like I think whenever she would stuff a takedown or two, she should have reversed it, got the back, and just taking it to the ground on Alicia Zapatella. Like, Alicia's strong, but I think she's open for submissions as well. I mean, she's open for knockouts too, you know. She had another close fight with Lindsey Van Zandt, who I thought won a close fight as well, but I don't know, man. It's just one of them things. It's just one of those things. You got to finish. Colton said, what do you think of Valerie Laredo losing? Okay, I'll give you my thoughts on that in a minute. I actually did a video if you want to hear that. I'll just give you my thoughts real quick. I just posted it. Who else? So yeah, Jessica Delboni didn't get the decision, you know, so Alicia Zapatella retains her title. And Alicia actually called out atomweight champion, and somebody refreshed my memory. She called out somebody. I got to go back and look. She called out another atomweight from another organization if they sign her. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't know if she want that work. Because I think some of these atomweights from other organizations, they could still, like, give Alicia Zapatella, you know, a tough fight. You know, I like Alicia's wrestling. You know, she's strong for her height. I think she's like, 4'11". You know, she's very strong, but her lack of reach and her telegraph right hand make her very vulnerable, you know. She still stays on that back foot too much. But yeah, that was my thoughts on that co-main event. I thought Delboni did enough to win the fight. If you call it robbery, I can't really argue with that, you know. That's what y'all talking about, BJ. That's not who this live stream is about. Who are y'all talking about? Oh, y'all over there already talking about Carla. We ain't talking about Carla yet. We'll jump on that in a minute. But Karina Rodriguez versus Diana Torquato, that was a good action-packed fight. It was a good action-packed fight for both fighters. You know, they put on a very good performance. A lot of good back and forth action early on. You know, Diana Torquato, I favored her in the pocket the first 2 rounds. I thought she was landing some good shots. Not much adjustments made, though. You know, she was landing some good leg kicks and good right hands on Karina Rodriguez. Karina Rodriguez got a good chin, though, man. Like, she was taking some banging shots from Diana Torquato. But what I liked from Rodriguez in this fight was the fact that she did adjust by the 3rd round. She started to box more. You know, she started to step on the outside and stay away from the power hand of Torquato. You know, she started picking her shots more and stopped trying to trade and go toe to toe. So I thought that was impressive by Karina Rodriguez. You know, nobody really tried to take it to the ground in this fight. I think if Torquato wanted to, she could have pressed it in and taken the fight to the ground, but she was respecting the power of Karina Rodriguez. You know, so Karina got comfortable, started boxing more, and, you know, just controlled, I'd say, the second half of the fight. I think I gave the first 2 rounds to Torquato, But I feel like Karina, she took it on home from round 3, 4, and 5. I know one judge had like Karina sweeping the whole thing. I don't think that Karina was sweeping the fight, but I think she did decent work in the second half. But she pretty much captured the unanimous decision. It was a good fight though. It was a good fight. It was for the vacant flyweight title. Roger, what's going on? What else? Yeah, well, it was a good fight, man. Like I said, the Invicta FC card was good. They had fighters making their debuts. Like I said, always have some action-packed fights. I just wish that Tanisha Tennant, they would have found her an opponent, and they could have had, her fight a good bantamweight fight, like in the co-main event instead. That would have been, or like the third fight from the co-main event. That would have been a good showcase. When's their next card? Let's see. Invicta FC got another card coming up, Atomweight Phoenix tournament, I think June 11th. So I look forward to that, man. Looking forward to that one. All right, so should we talk about this strawweight fight? No, we ain't going to talk about it yet. We ain't going to talk about Carla yet. Should we jump to Carla versus Xianon? No, we ain't going to talk about it. Well, I'll hold off on it. I think that'll be like the last thing we talk about. Or maybe it'll be the middle. Maybe it'll be next. Let's see. I don't want to rub it in. Should I? Nah, I'm not gonna rub it in yet. We'll hold off. I did a video talking about Cyborg and Leslie Smith, so I'm not gonna spend too much time. But Cyborg versus Leslie Smith, the rematch. I know it's a fight that not everybody was looking forward to. What I think of the fight as a whole, it wasn't really like a great action-packed fight. It was just really a good showcase of Chris Cyborg and her evolution as a MMA fighter, really. I think that would have been something she would have done to any opponent in the rankings right now if she chose to. I think she's just really trying to showcase the patience and discipline as a fighter now. Ever since the Amanda Nunes loss, she's just been trying to become more and more patient and not the wild Chris that depends on the power or that just goes in there and blows these girls out. She's more so sitting back, boxing more, picking her shots more, and breaking her opponents down. But with that, when I saw Leslie Smith in there, surviving and making it to round 2 or 3, I was like, yo, Leslie, she got to take advantage of these opportunities. Like when Chris is sitting back, I wanted to see her like just go all out for the home run shot at this point, because there's really no point where Leslie Smith was going to outstrike or take Chris down and dominate. You know what I mean? Like there should have been a point where Leslie Smith said, okay, I got to go for it all. Let me throw this overhand right a la Nunes, or put everything she got into it to at least hurt her and try to score a knockout. That's really your best bet against Chris Cyborg. The longer you let her stay into a fight, she's going to keep picking up her momentum and just, break you down to the point you don't have the power anymore, because, she's hitting your legs, she's hitting your body, she's, cracking you on the chin, So, yeah, overall, I think the fight was just a good showing by Chris and her skill set, because she took it all the way to the 5th round. And then as soon as she homed in with a big right hand, that was it. She homed in with the big right hand, dropped Leslie Smith, finished her off. And I was just waiting for that. I was like, it happened in the first round, but she took it another, 4 rounds. So, But what do y'all think? Like, was she carrying Leslie Smith? I know I heard a few people say, like, she was carrying Leslie Smith. Like, I like Leslie, though. I like Leslie Smith, but there were some moments I think Chris was kind of holding back in here, because, like, Chris Cyborg wasn't playing the same Chris Cyborg that she usually is, She was more so picking her shots and boxing more. So what do y'all think, man? Like, do y'all think Chris was kind of carrying Leslie Smith through these rounds? Because like I said, after that first round, I was like, she could have finished her. But the second and third round, she strike a little bit, take her down. Strike a little bit, take her down. Kick her to the body a little bit, take her down. Box her a little bit, take her down. capped the round off in the fifth with a knockout TKO, whatever. Thought she was carrying a little bit though, man. I mean, if we know what Chris is capable of, we seen the first fight, and we seen what she done to other fighters. I mean, we know, right? I mean, I think the answer is kind of obvious. Like, can't deny Chris's power. Can't deny it, you know. Oh yeah, Robert Henry. Yeah, June 11th. June 11th. Not this weekend coming, but June 11th is the next Friday. 2 weeks from now, I think, right? 2 or 3 weeks from now. Robert Henry said she was carrying Leslie. Yeah, she was carrying her. She was definitely carrying Leslie Smith. I thought it was just me. I was kind of like, okay, like it's there, but she's getting rounds in. She's getting rounds in, and you know, can't blame Chris. You can't blame Leslie. I mean, that's what Chris Cyborg is, you know, at this point. But moving forward from here, Cat. That's the one fight. Like, it's crazy that she calls Cat out, but Cat doesn't like directly call her out. Because I think if Cat directly called her out, they probably would make the fight. I mean, it's probably. I think it's safe to say that is going to be the next fight, though. Chris versus Cat. That probably will. Probably will. But I mean, I could go back and watch tape on both of them, but I just don't see what Cat is going to bring to the table in that fight. I mean, let's see. Colton, what's going on? Colton said she could steamroll some of these girls in Bellator, though. She should have let her hands go and at least be entertaining. You mean Leslie? Yeah. I mean, but Chris, yeah, of course, Chris, she can steamroll anybody, you know. But as far as Leslie, I think she could beat a lot of the other girls, but I don't know. I don't know if she steamroll a lot of the featherweights. Colton. But the Cat fight looks like it's what's on the horizon now for Cyborg. After this, I really don't know, man. Like, I don't really see Cat Zingano taking this into a rivalry or anything, or, you know, making it worth the second fight to be made. This ain't really like a 2-fight deal. I just think that Chris is that good. Like, Chris Cyborg is that powerful, is that strong. Unless she does the next thing and move up to 155. I mean, she says she's open to maybe signing the PFL to fight Kayla Harrison, but I think we all know how that fight would go. So it's not really like her finding bigger fighters. It's trying to find somebody that is just as talented as her. You know, somebody with skill that can make a fight competitive, you know? Which brings us to the only fight that makes sense, you know, for everybody, I guess all the casual fans, like Amanda Nunes. You know, the Amanda Nunes fight. I think, let me see. Everybody wants Amanda Nunes to rematch either Cyborg or Valentina. Let me think. Which one would I want to see more? Which one would y'all want to see? Let me see. Chris. You know what? I think I'd rather see Nunes rematch Cyborg more so than Valentina, because she's already did it with Valentina twice, and the outcome was what it was. I don't think that'll ever change. But the Chris fight and the Amanda fight, there is some good. There's good backstory, and there's some change in Chris that could really make it, you know, a toss up in people's eyes. I think. I mean, honestly, I think Nunes still's got the power to really do damage on Chris Cyborg. But I feel like a lot of people think it could still be 50-50 going into it. So that's the fight to make. That's like the best choice for Cyborg, man. You know, Amanda's running out of opponents. Cyborg's running out of opponents. Like I said, the bigger the girls get don't mean that it's going to get any more challenging for Chris or Amanda. Like, they made Kayla Harrison fight Nunes. We know what's going to happen. Make Chris Cyborg fight Kayla Harrison. We know what's going to happen. It's not the size, you know. It's just the size won't be a factor in the fight. Kayla Harrison just don't have the skill to hang with these fighters. I don't think she ever will, because she's letting her cockiness just kind of overshadow her greenness, if you will, in the holes in her game. So, yeah, for Chris Cyborg, I don't know. They just gotta somehow come up with something where they do the Nunes rematch. I'm starting to see that too now. That's probably like the only fight out there, because they are the women at the mountaintop right now. That's plain and simple, I guess. Kayla Harrison is too early for her. Like, they don't have time to wait for her to build herself up. I mean, the money's there now for the fight, but does Kayla really want to sacrifice herself and get beat down by Nunes and lose the drive and lose the confidence? Come on. Does she really want to do that? Does she really want to do that? Nabash said definitely Nunes versus Cyborg, and like Nunes cuts down to 125. Yeah, Nunes, I could not see Nunes at 125. I could not see her at 125 and winning. Like, her squeezing down to 125, that would be nuts. Like, that's the only way Valentina could beat her for sure shot, Robert Henry said, I think this version of Cyborg is worse. She used to be like a tiger, get you out of there early. Now she's like a Komodo dragon. She's letting the suffering linger before the finish. Yeah, like, it's very dangerous, very dangerous. The fighting style she has, because she still has the power to KO you whenever she wants. Or, yeah, like, if she wants, she can just torture you. I still think Nunes has enough in her tools, in her experience, to make it a 50-50 fight. Make it a 50-50 fight. I think Chris has gotten better with her boxing, but I still think Nunes has. Let's be honest. I think Nunes hits harder. I think Nunes does hit harder. Nunes' power, like, when it touches you, it touches you. Like, Chris can do damage, like she's doing in these fights and in the past, but how many girls is Chris, like, really, really not comatose like Amanda Nunes has, I know she knocks out a lot of girls and beats them down, but has she really, like, how many has she comatose like Amanda, or really made you say, damn, like, this power is crazy? I don't know. I don't know about y'all. I think Chris Cyborg, from what I've seen about her last 5 rounds that she was performing in there, and the fight before that, the way she's been fighting, it's almost like she's preparing to transition to boxing. Like, the way she's been fighting is more like a boxer. And I don't know if she was trying to prepare for boxing with this 5 rounds just by her stance and the way she was punching. The way she was turning her shots over, it really looked like she was, like, preparing for a boxing match. So don't be surprised if maybe after the Kat Zingano fight, if she beats Kat Zingano and she transitions over to boxing and tries to fight Katie Taylor, that fight might be in the making. And I think Chris Cyborg would have a good chance against a fighter like Katie Taylor. That's probably the weight she would want to fight at too. Like, Chris Cyborg, I don't think she would want to take Clarissa Shields on her to boxing match. She's too bigger and too strong. But somebody like Katie Taylor, I think Katie, that's about like the size for Chris Cyborg. And Chris, the way she turns her punches over, she could really hurt some of these boxers. She could really hurt these boxers. And they're 10 2-minute rounds. 2-minute rounds in boxing, I think she could definitely do damage. That would favor her versus the 5-minute rounds in MMA, So she'd be down for that. So, yeah, don't be surprised, man. Don't be surprised if she does the boxing thing. Marcus said, I picked Felicia to win, but knew Norma Dumont would be a problem if Felicia couldn't get to the ground. Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. This fight between Norma Dumont and Felicia Spencer, I'm not going to lie, I was thinking that Felicia Spencer was going to use her same approach being a dog, being that high energy fighter and go in there and just go after it. And, I thought her head kicks would have been a little bit more effective. But Norma Dumont, this version of Norma Dumont at 145 really looked impressive. She really was in there she was really in and out, and she was in there to really control Felicia Spencer. And so used to seeing Felicia Spencer as being like the bigger woman sometimes, aside from the Cyborg and Nunes fight. Norma Dumont made her look small, in my opinion, man. I mean, she was like an inch shorter, but Norma Dumont was looking a little bit heavier in there, and Felicia was looking a little bit smaller, But I think Felicia Spencer really felt the fight was not going to go her way when she sensed Felicia sensed that Norma Dumont was just handling her with ease in the clinch. Like, Felicia wanted to take the fight to the ground, but she could not really move Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont would not budge. Like, Norma would have her back to the fence, and she was just really holding her ground. Like, I think that's what really kind of woke Felicia up. It was like, yo, I gotta have a better game plan. Like, my thoughts on the striking of Felicia Spencer is, I didn't really think it was going to be her striking to help her win this fight. I thought it'd been more so her pressure and knees and inside game and ground game. But, Norma Dumont really nullified a lot of it. Right away, she was a moving target. She was targeting the lead leg. She was playing Matador. She was making Felicia Spencer miss. She was making her miss with every some of the rush ins. She was hitting her with the right hand and the jab up the middle, and even took the fight to the ground herself in the third round. So Norma Dumont was just mixing it up. Whereas Felicia Spencer, outside of the kicks, she didn't really have much to depend on. She didn't really have much else to mix up to her arsenal. She had the kicks, right? The kicks are missing. Why don't you try mixing it up with your jab? Not much of a jab. If you look at the position and she was trying to move her feet, switch stances a little bit, get comfortable with her striking. But if you look at the way she was having her hands up compared to the way Norma Dumont was striking, it wasn't really in a good position to say, oh, I'm going to land with authority. Felicia Spencer just never really tightened up on the hand game. The kicks are there. Her taekwondo was on point. That's what she does. But her overall Muay Thai, kickboxing, it's not really, it wasn't going to play a factor in this fight, Ernest Richardson said, how do you get boxed up by Norma Dumont? Norma Dumont got some hands. I mean, compared to Felicia, of course, she does have some speed to her, I mean, if you never boxed before, if Felicia Spencer, of course, never boxed before, she will get pieced up the way she did, That's why it was just a clinic for her, So, yeah, Norma Dumont at least has some level of striking and boxing that was going to do damage, Ernest. That's why I was it looked impressive because, Felicia, she didn't never really train for that. I mean, maybe she did, maybe it's just not clicking, but she's never really had that in her game. That's why she was able to get hit with some of these clean counter right hands and jabs up the middle because Norma's just in and out with hers. Norma Dumont looked good and Felicia started looking good in the last round, but both fighters need to move their heads more. Yeah, lack of head movement for Norma Dumont. That's why Megan Anderson laid her out. Lack of head movement for Felicia Spencer. That's why she took a beating from Nunes and Chris Cyborg. The upper body is still too stiff. Felicia can kick all day. She can throw high kicks. She can throw those spin kicks, but her upper body is right on target. I mean, you could just lay the jab and a straight right hand down the pipe on her all day. She's right there to be hit. Felicia has to be more defensive because she can't keep getting hit with those shots. Yeah, I don't know, man. After 10 rounds with Nunes and Cyborg, you would think that defense would be a big part of her game as far as part of her goal, excuse me, part of her goal growing as a fighter. But they haven't really I don't know if they tapped into that, because there's only so long that chin's gonna hold up, man. Like Felicia Spencer, her chin's not gonna hold up for this long. I think that she's gonna have to be more fluid with the upper body. She's gonna have to get the grasp of her jab. She's gonna have to get the grasp of her boxing if she really wants to continue to fight in this so-called featherweight division, or just continue fighting in general. I mean, if she goes to Bellator, she's still gonna have to carry that over there, So I don't know. Yeah, for Felicia, that's what I like to see: some improvement on her upper body movement, and overall boxing. Norma Dumont moving forward from here, man. I just wish there was a featherweight division for these fighters to fight in and grow, because I feel like they're being wasted. Like they fight this one fight and then they get a title shot. You know what I mean? Then they get beat, and then it's like, okay, what happens from here? Like, are they gonna get a chance to grow? Are they gonna get a chance to be something more than just a body on Amanda Nunes' resume? Come on, like, they need a structured division. I mean, what are they doing? Like, what's the point? Like, I heard there was an interview out. Norma Dumont says something about not fighting Nunes yet. If I heard correctly, am I right about that? Let me see if I can pull that up. We'll talk about that real quick. Hold on. Here we go. I got it. Yeah, okay, here we go. Lola Yo-Yo said, why do so many people hate Carla? I don't know. We'll talk about that too. All right, this article here. Norma Dumont won't challenge Amanda Nunes before she's ready to avoid 5 rounds of a beatdown like Felicia Spencer. Okay. Who had said that? Let's see. Okay. So, here's something new Norma Dumont said. I think the much desired title shot must come when you're ready. I don't consider myself to be ready. I don't have enough experience to fight Amanda now. I have talent, I have physical strength, I have good performances all around, but Amanda is 20 fights ahead of me. Training and fighting are different things. You only learn experience inside the octagon. I need 5 more fights to say, okay, now I know myself. You can't just know your opponent. You must know yourself inside the octagon. See, right there, that's real talk, man. That's truth right there. That's real facts spoken from a fighter that wants to grow. Norma Dumont is speaking like a fighter that wants to grow. That's completely opposite of what Kayla Harrison says. So don't nobody say Norma Dumont's a coward, or don't try to say Norma Dumont is ducking. Norma Dumont wants a chance to grow. She wants a featherweight division. She wants a division where she can grow, get some fights, and then eventually say, I can fight Amanda Nunes. I mean, on one side we can say maybe you shouldn't have signed to the UFC yet. Maybe you should have fought some more fights in like Invicta, LFA, or Bellator, and then eventually move to the UFC to challenge Amanda. So we could say that because there really is no featherweight division, right? But I do like the fact that Norma Dumont said that. She doesn't want to rush in there, like she says, and get a beating like Felicia Spencer did. And if anything, Felicia Spencer was a little bit ahead of Norma Dumont, if you will, as far as her actually having a title. At least she did have a title in Invicta, but Norma Dumont, they just signed her. But you're going to kind of expect that because there is no division. See, if there was a division, you could grow. But so she's right about what she's saying, but she's kind of put herself in that position. Maybe she thought they were going to add more fighters, so it's not really her fault. At least she is being honest, though, that she's not going to want to jump right in there right away. Let's see. What else did she say? Okay, here we go. I'm still evolving and learning. I'm not in my prime yet. Amanda's in her prime, so I don't want, for example, to fight for the belt like Felicia did and take 5 rounds of a beatdown. It doesn't make sense to me. There's no merit in that. Oh, I fought for the belt. Man, you got beat up for 5 rounds. You weren't even competitive in the fight. That's not an advantage in my opinion. I know that a lot of people will come asking for that fight against Nunes when I defeat Felicia's, but I'd only fight if the UFC offers me a lot of money, a ton of money, and I don't think they'll give me that now. So I'll wait until I'm mature and think I'm ready for the title fight. Well, yeah. I mean, but if you don't fight at 145, then you're going to have to be fighting at 135. And I don't know if she can make 135. You know? Because she's fought 138. Last night she came in at 146, I think. Yeah, 146. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think they're going to offer like a ton of money, but there's going to come a point where they try to get her to fight her. You know, let's be real. They're going to say either get the fight or you get cut. That's going to be the situation for it. But like I said, what she said makes sense, you know. That's what I said. Don't nobody dare call her a coward or her ducking because she's just being real with it. You know, she's not gonna say, "Oh, I'm the greatest. I'm the goat. I'm the goat, and I'm the queen in this room, and I'm gonna beat everybody. I'm better than everybody." You know, I'm not into that talk if you ain't even there yet. You know, at least she's talking the real. She's not ready for the fight. Look, that's good. That's good. She just said it. So Dana, damn it, put the featherweight division together, right? Put it together. Hold on. Yeah, it's a pretty good article. I mean, she's just kind of breaking down why she ain't taking the fight. And how she just like she said, Amanda's gotten better over time. You know, she's got better and better, and that's how MMA fighters do. You know, they hit their prime when they get a little bit older here. And she feels like she's not old enough yet. Or like in fight years, you ain't hit a prime yet. Right? So yeah, hopefully they do something. Hopefully they do something for this 145 division. Like, I mean, we're sick of talking about it. Or, you know, I ain't begging for it, but I'm just saying at least we're trying to, you know, look, hey, Dana, UFC, y'all need this. All these other girls y'all got out here, they need this division. But yeah, let's jump to this last fight, y'all. Y'all kept y'all waiting long enough. I'm glad y'all stuck it out though. Thanks for sticking through. I mean, you know, I'm glad y'all got to hear me talk about these other fights because I was enjoying it, man. I was enjoying Invicta FC and I was enjoying Bellator. But this the fight I was looking forward to. Y'all know this the fight I was looking forward to. Title eliminator. Still got to put my post-fight analysis up there. I know Robert Henry gonna like that when I put this up. I already recorded it. I just ain't put it up yet. But Xianon, of course, y'all know she was number 3. Carla Esparza number 4. They were going into this fight ready to make the statement, man. You know, Xianon said she wanted to stop Carla. Carla said she was ready to do the same, make a big statement because she wants a title shot. She's tired, you know, of being put in the back burner. And she says time for some new blood in there. You know, don't give Weili the rematch. Let me get that match, right? So going into this fight, man, I was like, okay, with this talk and this momentum and this experience that Carla has and this growth that Carla has and this momentum that Jean has, I was like, yo, this is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a good fight. I ain't going to lie and say I saw a stoppage. I didn't see Jan stopping Carla because I didn't think Carla had that power, but anything could happen. Anything was going to happen in this fight. But I didn't see that happen. I really didn't see this. I picked Carla to win. like the first couple of things that Carla did in here was like, y'all know that was my keys to victory. I said that, like, catch, take down, use the right hand, perfect execution. I was like, everything that Carla was doing was stuff I said she should do. But the way she amped it up, I was like, yo, like, she's really doing some damage. Like, I expected maybe some good wrestling takedown, some good wrestling and some takedowns, and I expected her to maybe be a little bit boring and just make sure she bags the round. But she said, look, I'm taking y'all down. I'm taking her down. We're staying here, and I am beating her behind. Because I'm this close to that title shot. I'm on a 4-fight winning streak. You are not. You look. You ain't taking this from me. You are not taking this from me. So, really, Carla surprised me. I think she surprised y'all, Robert Henry, right? I know she surprised you, Robert. I know she surprised you, man. But Carla went in there, made a big statement, used that wrestling, vicious ground and pound, and got the stoppage. She got the stoppage, man. So I think it's safe to say, Robert, that Carla has evolved as a fighter. She definitely gotten better. And there's no knocking it, man. There's no knocking it. Like I said, every fight that I've been seeing her win over the past few years, I kind of felt like Carla was slowly, perfecting her craft, getting better as a fighter. She's trying her best to get better as a fighter. Earnest. I am a little bit earnest, yeah. I am. Just a little bit. Because I told you I was watching these fights all night, man. I've been watching these fights since 1 in the morning. So yeah, I am a little tired. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, so Carla, every fight she's had, she's been growing as a fighter. She's been getting stronger. She's been getting smarter with her hands. And it's just been like a gradual growth. A lot of people haven't been really noticing it, but I've been seeing it. I've been seeing her approach being a little bit more confident in every fight. Every fight she's been getting a little bit more confident in what she's doing. And I just knew that going into this fight here with Xianon, who's never really had to take an L before, except she had one loss way in her career, right? She took an L early on in her career. She's never really had to go back and learn. She's just been building off of what works for her. Being, I hate to say it, one-dimensional. She's never had to break out of that box. She's been one-dimensional for this long. So, Xianon, she beats Kayla Karan with her striking. She beats Claudia Gadelha with her striking. She beats Carolina with the striking. She continues to beat these fighters with that same level of striking. So it never really gives her. If she beats them this easy, there's really no need for her to grow, right? She's not feeling like she needs to work on her ground game or her jiu-jitsu. So along comes Carla, a fighter that's experienced, that's won some and lost some, that wants a title shot. You meet this experienced fighter, and boom, this is what happens. This is the result. You got a girl, Carla, who wants to go back in there and get that title shot. And she doesn't want to go back to the bottom. She doesn't want to start over. She doesn't want to be on the losing end of a controversial decision. So she's going in there and she's going to take her out. She's looking to take her out. So Xianon, she had to be aware of all of that. She thought she could take the same approach. She went in, made a big mistake, threw the right hand right in the range of Carla. Carla takes her down. That you can't do that. You can't do that. That's Carla's thing, man. Like, if you miss a punch, she'll make you pay. She's going to take you to the ground, and that's it. When she takes you down, that is it. If you wind up on your back and you don't have any type of ground game, I think you pretty much say it's it. Whether she takes you to a boring decision, that's it. Robert Henry said, it was a stoppage win by Carla. I never said she couldn't win. I was already concerned that she would win. Oh, you said that she never could win. Oh, okay. 'Cause I could have swore y'all said that she wasn't gonna win. I mean, I was never counting her out. I mean, I was never counting Jan out, definitely. But Carla, man, like, however she was gonna do it, she was gonna win. You know, she was gonna do it, whether it be born decision. But like I said, well, let's go back though, man. Like, what did she do to Rose 7 years ago? I mean, it's in her. It's in her. Like, if you have no ground game and you're on your back, she will knock you out. Like, she will beat you she will beat you down. I mean, it's far in between. It's so far in between the Rose fight and the Xianon fight. But I mean, y'all saw it. If you're weak, and you can't fight on your back, she will beat you down. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was impossible. I mean, I guess we just all kind of forgot about what she did to Rose 7 years ago. And we thought she didn't have anything better than that. But like I said, she's getting better. So if anything, she might get more dangerous. She's probably getting even a little bit more dangerous over the years. Because to me, Carla hasn't deteriorated like some fighters. She's actually kind of had a revival in her career. Like, let me see, who else? I'm just checking out her resume. Like, yeah, since the Rose stoppage, she hasn't stopped anybody since then. Always been taking fights to the distance. Close decisions, some gone her way, some haven't gone her way. So, I know it might look like, okay, she doesn't look like she has the power to do it. But if you give her that opportunity, she's going to take it. And like I said, it may have been 7 years in between that time, but a fighter like her, with Jan, like, she can't fight on her back. She has no ground game. She's a sitting duck. She's going to eat elbows all day. She's going to eat elbows. She's going to get busted up until the ref steps in and stops her, till she knocks you out, Mary, what's up? Things are going to stir up in the strawweight division yet again. Cannot wait. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that she pulled this thing out. Robert Henry said, me not liking Cookie Monster's fighting style doesn't mean I don't think she's talented. She's not a talented wrestler. It doesn't mean I haven't acknowledged the improved strike. I haven't heard anybody really mention it, though. I haven't really heard anybody acknowledge it. All I heard people say, she goes for the ankles. Like, all she does is go for the ankles. I'm like, okay. Y'all keep thinking that way, y'all can get your feelings hurt. Like, second takedown was from improved striking. Second round. Let's go back and look at the second round. Jan came in with that pressure. Carla moving around her feet, kind of stepping side to side on her feet. Jan steps in. Jan tries to step back. Carla steps in, lands a nice right hand. Didn't even throw it off a jab. Nice right hand, right? Jan comes in, tries to throw that body kick, catches the body kick, down. Catch and takedown. Just like I said, catch and takedown. Exactly what she did. What happened from there? Just ground and pound. Locked her into a crucifix, finished her off. And that's the thing I say about Xianon. Physically strong standing up, but when you get to the ground, it's a different story, man. Like I said, height don't matter when you're on the ground. Muscle never really matters in a fight, but how you distribute your physical strength, it'll differ. Like, you might be strong on your feet, but when you get to the ground and you can't pop your hips up, if you can't get that little pop in your hips, that little burst to get up, that means you don't really have much strength on the ground. And Carla, if you look at Carla was like squeezing Jan in that first round. She was like squeezing her body. She was like squeezing the air out of her. When she had her on the ground, she was squeezing the air out of her. She was kneeing her in her side. She was kneeing her in her side. So I was like, Jan's going to eventually gas out from this. Putting a knee in her stomach too, man. So I was just really overall impressed with her want Carla Esparza came in there with the want, and she got it done. She said, "Look, no more controversial decisions. I want my title shot." So I think if I make a who's next for Carla, I think that's it, right? Rose Namajunas. Ain't nobody to choose from, so we just got to make it known. That's the rematch. That's the fight that should happen. Mary said, I kind of want a Weili JJ rematch more than a Rose Weili rematch. Yeah, I agree. I think that Rose and Carla should fight while Weili and Joanna fight for that next title shot. That would be fair. That's cool with me. That would be cool with me. Mary said, I think Carla's are pretty stubborn enough to close in on Rose decently. Just has to watch out for the striking. Yeah. I think Carla's timing is very good, though. Like, Carla has very good timing. Like, if you try to throw a kick at Carla, she's very alert. Like, people don't understand how alert she is. Like, Carla's alert. Like, she was alert to the boxing of Alexa Grasso. She got hurt a few times in the Alexa Grasso fight, but she was catching Alexa with good right hands. And what am I saying about Alexa Grasso? Alexa Grasso, one of the best boxers in the flyweight division. Carla was able to, land on Alexa. She'll land on Rose. Because if she stays alert, she's going to time a kick, or she'll time a right hand, and she'll land something. Because y'all got to remember, I'll probably do another video on this, but here's something I've been watching with Carla. Carla's weakness is physically strong fighters. I'm talking about stabilized fighters with strong stabilization muscles and hard, strong cores. That's what I'm saying. Strong cores, good stabilization muscles. Those type of fighters beat Carla. Tatiana Suarez, Joanna. Those type of fighters will ragdoll her. You try to take Joanna down, she'll get back up because she's that strong. She'll move you. She'll knock you back. She'll get that burst. She'll swing you off over. She'll scramble. That's her thing. She does drill after drill. Those type of fighters beat her. Rose has gotten better with her boxing, her striking. I still don't think she's good in the core. I still don't think she's that strong in the legs. So Carla Esparza, who has gotten stronger physically, who has packed on muscle for the good, I think would still be stronger than Rose in the pocket. She's still going to be stronger than Rose in the pocket, and she's still going to be physically stronger if they clinch up. Granted, Rose might be a little bit slippery on the ground and could possibly pull off a submission. She's slippery. She could get the back of Carla. You never know. She could get Carla in the guard. She could get Carla in her guard and submit her with the armbar. You never know. But when it comes down to physical strength, I still think Carla sitting down at 5'1", she is stronger. And if you don't have that strength to counter what she offers, then it'll be a long night. It's going to be a long night. See, Tatiana Suarez, way stronger. Did whatever she wanted to do. Joanna, way stronger, physically stronger. Claudia Gadelha, she won that fight, but to me, I still feel like I think Carla should have got that because Carla did damage. She put hands on her, had better success on the ground, in my opinion. So it really just comes down to fighters with high cardio and strength. That's how you beat Carla. So when it comes to a Rose rematch, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be 50-50 because it's just gonna really depend on her striking. Rose's striking is the only thing that's gonna win. Like, Carla's gonna control the wrestling. Carla will control the wrestling because I don't think Rose is that strong to hang with Carla, physically. Just being real. Robert said, I'll link you a video of me acknowledging her striking later. Okay. Robert said, y'all fought a foolish fight. Experience can really matter Indeed, especially MMA. Yeah. Mary Thomas, especially since Joanna in her first fight was very controversial. A lot of fans had JJ winning overall, just barely. That would be a good double header too, like Joanna versus Wei Lee as a co-main event, and the main event be Rose and Carla. That would be good. That would be good. That would be good. Lola and Yo-Yo said Rose is deceivingly strong. Maybe, but it's not enough to hang with these physically strong specimens that really can ragdoll you. Coach, what's up? Coach said Rose is very strong. I won't say very strong. She's not very strong. I gotta disagree on that. Y'all saying she's deceivingly strong. You can break her down. In the pocket, Carla's still stronger. Joanna was stronger than Rose. Joanna's stronger than Rose. It's obvious. She can hit harder and she's more of an accurate puncher. That's how she wins her fights. When it comes down to strength, Carolina has success. Michelle Waterson has success. When you talking like physical strength, core strength, I think Carla's got her beat. Excuse me. Robert Henry said, okay, I'm done with wrestling thoughts. Don't wrestle, man. Just submit to it then. Just admit Carla earned her win. Just admit Carla earned her win, and then you won't have to wrestle with it. Robert Henry. That's all. Mary Thomas said she is, but her stamina can diminish relatively quicker. Rose ain't got the type of Rose may have a little bit of strength, but it's not like the Carlas and Joannas or the Tatianas or Jessica Andrades. That's why she couldn't hang. I think when you start to hit those legs and you start to hit that body, that's where you get that reaction. Robert said, I've been trying to tell Jason Rose that Tatiana is way stronger and bigger than Cookie Monster. Talking about 1 pound difference. Yeah, Tatiana's way stronger. Like, that's Carla's weakness. Physically strong and fighters that are really good at their reach. That's her weakness. That's her main weakness. Oh yeah, Carla can win. Nah, coach. Carla can win this fight. You can't count her out. I mean, we're not even talking about the mental edge that Carla has. We not even factoring that in yet. But Carla can win this fight. I think when you just start breaking into that when you start working on Rose's foundation, when you start getting to the legs and you start getting in them soft spots of the body, no. That's the key. Because if Carla takes a page out of Jessica Andrade's book, it's over. Like, if she even takes just a little bit of what she can do out of her book, it's over. All you have to do is really attack that core and you hit that foundation, you hit them legs right, and you slow her down, and then you factor in Carla's right hand, her improved right hand, it'll be dangerous. Like I said, with her improvements, it's moving it up to a 50-50. And no, I'm not saying she's going to win, but I'm telling y'all that it's going to be competitive. It will be close. Again, that one variable we can't factor into the outcome is that mental edge. You don't know. You don't know her having this win, even though it was 7 years ago, could do something to Rose. You don't know. But Carla has a better chance than Zhang Weili. Carla could have a better chance than Zhang Weili. So I can't say Carla can't win. Carla can win. Carla got a chance. To say she don't know, man, no. Carla beats a lot of opponents that Rose can't beat. Carla beats a lot of opponents that Rose can't beat. Mary Thomas, I don't think I don't think Carla will necessarily beat this version of Rose, but she hasn't lost any skill herself. She is still a strong opponent. Yeah. Lola and Yo-Yo, who would you want to be strawweight champion? Who would I want to be strawweight champion? I'd want Tatiana to be, for real though. Like, I like Tatiana all around as a better fighter, you know. If I had my choice, I would say Tatiana Suarez. But like right now, it's like a may the best woman, may the best man win type of thing, you know. Whoever showcases the dedication and the heart and the skill, and they put on a good performance, I don't care. I really don't care who's champion. Because the strawweight division got a lot of good fighters anyway. I don't really feel like this one person's going to be better than the next. You know, I think the strawweight division has a lot of good talent, and they all work hard. You know what I mean? Like, they all work hard at being, trying to be the best at what they do. So to me, I really don't care right now. You know, I mean, unless Tatiana was in the mix, I would say Tatiana. That's who I like. But I also got to talk about Dana White trying to put this roadblock up. You know, he was saying he's not sure if he wants Carla Esparza. He's not sure if he wants to get Carla Esparza her rematch or give Zhang Weili her rematch. You know, now that we could get a solid fight after a solid title eliminator, he's trying to put up a roadblock, y'all. So I prefer Carla to get her fight just because she's on a 5 fight winning streak. You know, it's only fair. It's only fair. It's only right, man. Mary said, well, Rose lost horribly to Andrade the first time and almost got lapped in the rematch. I wanted a trilogy so bad because it's one of the biggest strawweight fights we've had this year. Yeah, both of their fights were good. Both of them were good. Again, you know, I think if you have any level of that type of strength in you, any type of level of strength like Jessica Andrade in you, and you have that type of wrestling approach, you can agitate Rose. You know, you can kind of throw a kink in her game plan. Oh, look how Karolina Kowalkiewicz hit that body. You know what I mean? She hit that body, and you know, she touched that body and hurt her a little bit. Yeah, at this point I want Carla Rose as a main event, and I want Weili JJ as a co-main event. If she doesn't want to do the Marina Rodriguez fight, no, we got to talk about that because Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez are supposed to be fighting. Yeah, I heard about that. Shoot, we got to talk about that tomorrow or something. Yeah, I forgot about that. Mr. Lee said may talk about Rodriguez. I already talked about the fight. That was like the first thing I talked about, Mr. Lee. Yeah, I talked about the Rodriguez fight. It was a good fight. Good fight. Robot Chickens, what's up? He said, I'm back. I had to get something to eat. What, you get some chicken wings or something? Get some chicken wings? Yeah, man, we just been talking about this Carla and Rose fight. Exactly, Mary. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Rose don't have that tough Muay Thai conditioning. You know, she doesn't have that. So when you continue to hit the body, hit the calf, hit the leg, hit the knee, it'll wear on her in a 5-round fight. It'll break her down. I mean, she just found a soft spot in Joanna. Y'all know that. Like, Joanna's tough from the neck down, but if you hit the chin right, if you touch that right button, she'll go down. That's just natural. Rose ain't as strong as them, like, when it comes to that. You know, the strongest fighters like even all the way back to 2019 when I was looking at the strongest in the division was Joanna. It was Tatiana. It was Andrade. It was because they were so built tough, you know? They were just built tough, like durable. But anybody can be stopped. If you touch the chin, they'll go down. But when it comes to like just straight up in the pocket, in the wrestling, inside fighting, on the ground, on your back, or in side control, that's Carla's game. That's Tatiana's game. Joanna ain't touching it, so she makes sure she's strong as hell to knock you off of her, scramble back up, you know? So rematch gonna be good, man. Rematch is gonna be good. I think first time around 7 years ago when I watched the Tough House, I just said Carla was gonna win. I knew Carla was gonna win because she had the experience at the time. But I gotta give Rose a lot of credit. The evolution she's gone through and the development she's gone through has bumped this fight up to a 50-50. You know? Yeah, I mean, I go way back, man, with that show because I wanted JoJo to win it. I wanted her to take it all because JoJo was the most promising at the time. Tisha Torres, Carla, they were like three of the biggest fighters that were the most promising strawweights in that Tough House at the time. You know, and I knew that when it came down to Carla winning with the Melendez team. Was she with Melendez? Yeah, Carla was with Melendez. Rose was with, I think, Pettis' team, right? I knew that Rose was going to lose that fight. I was like, Carla's going to win this because it was just a matter of experience at the time, you know. And I knew that Rose is more like a fighter in development. But over the past few years, you know, yeah, she's definitely developed enough to make this thing interesting. Yeah. Yep. Robot chicken wings with some truck engines, though. But yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, that's really the reason why. Yeah, like her durability isn't there. If you can chop it down, you know, you got it. You know, you chop her down, you got it. Because what do y'all think? Rubber match with Rose and Andrade. Rubber match. How does that go? 5 rounds. You got to favor Andrade, man. Like, I picked Rose at first fight, man, because I was like, yo, if she keeps this up for 5 rounds, it's going to be easy. But she couldn't do it. See, I know Andrade can keep up her pace, unless you're Valentina Shevchenko. But, you know, other than that, like, she's going to keep up her pace. Oh, man, what else? Like, what did I see? Cynthia Calvillo post up her and Andrade. Damn, that would be a good fight. Calvillo versus Andrade at 125. I got to talk about that tomorrow. Because, you know, they both were at Invicta FC. Calvillo was in Favela's corner. Yeah, Cynthia Calvillo was in Favela's corner, Invicta. And Andrade was in Jessica Del Bone's corner. Sadly, both of their fighters lost. But, yeah, they were at Invicta. They both were in Invicta. So they got a chance to meet up there and look like they want to fight in September. So we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Lola said Rose has matured so much since Tough. Yeah, definitely. Robot chicken is crazy. Matured into a racist. Oh man, like that's definitely a negative. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, Rose, man, what are you thinking? What are you doing out there? What are you doing out there, Rose? What's she gonna come up with in the Carla Esparza fight? That's all I'm thinking. Nah, can't say nothing about Carla because Carla's American. All right. So what do you think, BJ? People are disagreeing with me here. Carla Esparza Is she stronger? Is she physically stronger than Rose Namajunas? That's my question. I say Carla Esparza is physically stronger than Rose Namajunas. What do you think? People disagree with me on that. I don't see Rose being that type. Rose ain't a dog. We said that before. Rose is not a dog. And to be a dog, you got to be physically strong. Everybody agreed with me on that before. Now that she knocked Whaley out, all of a sudden she's a dog? No, she ain't a dog. She's just a sharpshooter. We can't change it now. She won the fight the way she won the fight, by her skill set. Rose won by being a sharpshooter. Rose did not win by being a dog. So we can't change that and say Rose is all of a sudden physically strong as Carla Esparza. We can't say that. Yeah, Coach, definitely disagree with you on that. Rose ain't that strong. And Carla is in the running. She got a chance. She got a chance. Rose didn't prove anything to me more so than that she is still a good, solid, accurate assassin. Dog, no. Rose got some strength. You know, she got a little bit of strength. Like, you know, she can push you off for a little bit, but when I'm talking strength, I'm talking about 3 rounds. I'm talking about 5 rounds. I'm talking about having that same amount of strength in the 5th round that you had in the 2nd and 3rd round. Maybe not as fresh in the 1st round, but you were just as strong as you were, where you can hang and you can take it to them. You got your legs. You still got your legs, you know. But yeah, we'll talk more on that. We definitely got to talk more on that, because it's like, nah, man, like, Carla's on this 5-fight winning streak, man. It's impressive, man. It's impressive. You got to give her that credit. Yeah, Carla's a dog. Carla's a dog. Dern is a dog. I can't lie. Mackenzie Dern's a dog. You know, she's a dog. I mean, dogs, you know what they are, man. They get in there and fight. Dogs don't fall from a knee to the body. You know, dogs don't fall when you get hit once. You know, they keep coming. A dog can be knocked out, of course. Whaley was a dog, but she got knocked out. You know? I saw TJ in the building. Where'd he go? Did I see TJ? Oh, yeah, I think he went. Dang, y'all moving fast for me. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Okay. BJ said Calvillo is overrated. TJ said true indeed. Mr. Lee said Zhang versus Esparza. No, Mr. Lee, don't. You can't make her fight another fight. She got to get her title shot. Robot Chicken said Calvillo. Calvillo's overrated. Colton Calvillo will get killed by Andrade. Hey, at least he wants to take the fight, right? Mary Thomas said, you know, as I watched Carla catch a kick and sweep Jan to the floor, I said to myself, this is the stupidest fight I ever seen. It was when that happened, but nobody knew that would happen, right? You know, like when I saw her get the first takedown, like when she got the first takedown, Mary, I was like, it was going to be that easy. Mary, whenever she took her down that first time, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? She went down from that and she can't get up from that? Man, y'all got to slow down. Hold on. Robert Henry Carla could be physically strong, and I still get physically knocked up against her huge forehead with a big kick, too. Oh, Robert, mad. Don't be mad, Robert. Mary Thomas, if Rose ends up fighting Carla, I'd be pretty interested, but I don't mind if Whaley gets the rematch. I just hope they push it so far back, like when COVID arrived. Jan is just as bad as Kevin Holland when it comes to takedown defense. Dang, Lola and Yo-Yo been keeping count. I know I was keeping count too, man. Like, I didn't know it was that many, though. China's 2 and 10. Robot Chick said Carla made me a fan. TJ said if the fight is delayed, Mary, it will be because of Rose. That's why it took so long last time. She's inactive as hell. Uh-oh, Savage is in the building now. Clark Kent the Superman. Mary Thomas, unfortunately, since Marcus brought her up, Montana is a dog. Yeah, Montana got some heart, you know. Yeah, she's a dog. She got some heart, you know. I guess Rose Duckin will only take fights in the U.S. now. Montana's a dog, yeah. TJ said, not my champion, Mary. Luckily, it won't be long. Oh, man. Yeah, Rose, you turn a lot of people off with that crazy talk. Let me just say that. Like, I ain't a fan of that kind of talk myself, man. But when I'm just looking at the fight, I give Carla a great chance. You know what I mean? I give her a great chance, you know. And that's somebody who likes Rose's style. You know, I like Rose's style as a fighter, her style, but I don't like her tactics, you know, her mental tactics, and I don't like her inconsistency. You know what I mean? Over the past few years, she's kind of been turning me off with that. You know, when I was just like, yo, what's going on? What you doing? You know, so there's a lot of factors in there that make me say this could be her downfall, you know? Yeah, Ernest, we were just talking about that. Yeah, she called out Andrade. I think it being funny, but I mean, yeah, there were some losses in there, like where they were losing. I mean, yeah, you know, like it wasn't meant to be funny. Sorry, it wasn't meant to be funny, Robot Chicken, but it's the evolution of the sport, man. We might have to talk about that one day, man. Like China, the way they approach martial arts, it's their particular style. You know, when you come to America and certain other places, when they start to become more well-rounded, they start losing. You know what I mean? Like Brazilians, they better on the ground. There was a time when they weren't really great strikers. You know, still not the best boxers in the game, but they've been developing their hands. You know, China's more so better on their feet. Asians are more better on their feet. But when it comes to getting taken to the ground, that's a new thing. But when you come to America, you get boxers, you get wrestlers, you get Americans who've gone to Thailand and brought back what they know here. You know, so America's kind of becoming more that melting pot in MMA. Because you are getting fighters that maybe been an Olympic wrestler, maybe been a professional boxer, and then they go into BJJ. You know, they go to Brazil. Again, they go to Thailand, and they bring it back to the U.S. They've been bringing back what, you know, America be taking things, boy. You know, America's built off of that, right? America's built off of, you know, taking from other countries and bringing it here. That's how it became this melting pot. So America's going to put everything together and eventually try to be better, you know. So you're going to get that mix, and then other countries are going to be influenced by that. So, you know. Marcus Bell said, I'd rather keep it fight related than trying to call someone a racist. Yeah, I mean, it is what people see. Like, I can't disrespect people's views on what they see. If they see something I don't see, you know, I mean, I be reading people myself. I'm just saying, like, I'm just looking at what Rose does. But yeah, like, if you're not a fan of her, I can understand why. I can definitely understand why you're not a fan of her because of what she did. So yeah, I respect that part definitely. You know, because I don't like bringing that type of political trash into my fight world. You know, so when Rose did that, it was a big turnoff. You know, big turnoff. Get that garbage out of here. We trying to fight. You know, we trying to put two people in the octagon. You ain't got no damn country in there fighting for you. You know, it's just you. It's just you in there fighting. When you get your ass beat or if you get your hand raised in victory, that's you. You did it. My fault. Let me not go on that right now. Robert Henry said Robot Chickens was a Rose hater long before those statements, so she's staying on code. He stay on code, so don't choke on them wings. Damn. Yeah, TJ, and not at all. China don't do fake martial arts. No, who said that? Who said they do fake martial arts? Yeah, China don't do fake martial arts. It just comes down to being prepared for what it is. Like everybody got their form of martial arts, but when you come into mixed martial arts, you got to be a mix of everything. You know. Oh boy, TJ over there working. Go ahead and hire me as a driver, man. Nah, I'm not driving no trucks. Nah, I mean I could drive one. My job I do, but no, I ain't driving for long distances. Colton said oh yes, I'm sorry about that, Colton. I meant to answer that question earlier. Um, Valerie Laredo, was she too cocky? I don't know. Let me think. I don't think it was like I don't think it was like she was too cocky. I think she was a little bit full of herself to a certain extent, where she didn't expect Hannah Guy to bring what she did. Like I think it was just a mixture of Bellator trying to make her bigger than she was just off of being a sex symbol. They wanted to make her based off of being a sex symbol, so that kind of maybe it did go to her head a little bit, but she definitely got an eye opener Friday night. And that's my thing. Like Valerie Laredo, you need to find that balance. Like if you want to be a sex symbol, fine, but I'm not paying to see that. I don't care what you do on your Instagram. If you're not putting your punches together and you're not fighting a good fight, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm not paying for that. That's not what I'm paying for. I don't want to see that. I want to see you fight. And if you're not fighting to your full level, I'm turning that off. I'm turning that off. Yeah, that's really what it was, TJ. That's good. We're not cocky. It was more so overrated. Like I said, Bellator they're giving her accolades for things she haven't even done yet. Like, they're showing her picture and they're not showing Hannah Guy's picture. They're not even showing her opponent when they're both like 2-0 or 3-0 and 2-1. They're not putting them on the same level. They're both prospects. They're both prospects. So you're not respecting what Hannah Guy could possibly do to Valerie Laredo. They're more so just pushing the Instagram videos that she does. So overrating her, yeah. So they're just putting the more exposure on her. Yeah, she's not cocky. Yeah, she's not cocky. Kayla Harrison is cocky. Robert Henry said they do fake martial arts scams in China, though. There's a guy that challenges fakers and they win. Him in China. Of course, you have fakers in all countries. So yeah. Yeah, BJ. I think it is good that she lost now because that's an eye opener for her. It's a good eye opener for her because now she can go back to the drawing board and say, look, this is what I need to work on. I need to get off the bike and really sit down on my punches, so. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had a casual fan or boxing fan, say Valerie Laredo was a champion. I'm like, she's only 2-0 at the time. I was like, she's 2-0. How's she a champion? What are you talking about? So people see her and the way she's pushed, they automatically think that she's the upper echelon of MMA. WMMA is not measured by how big your chest is or your cup size. It's measured by your fighting style, your skills and your accomplishments. I know Robert Henry might take that quote and make it a quote again, but like I said, Robert Henry, WMMA is not measured by your cup size or how good you can twerk. It's measured by your accomplishments in the sport. Like, I don't care about that. I want to see a fight. Colton said the love for Carol Harrison. It's not hate, man. It's not hate, Colton. I'm just telling you the real. Like, she's growing. You know, she's growing as a fighter, but she's just not Nunes, and she's not Shevchenko level. That's all it is. When she starts to acknowledge her level, then I'll be like, yo, I can respect her. Marcus said, if I'm not mistaken, Valerie was still twerking after she lost. Okay. If she wanted to do that, but she better get off that twerking. Stop twerking and start jabbing. Stop twerking and start jabbing. Oh man. Wow. It's crazy, man. But that's a part of MMA that I don't think are really part of WMMA that's going to always be there, because you're always going to have the men that simp over women and push them to a level that they're not at. So every organization is going to use some type of marketing scheme or scam. Not even really a scheme at that point. You know, they're just going to take it and run with it. So they'll bring in the casual men fans, right? That's all it's going to come down to. Lola Yo-Yo said Valerie wore eyelashes to her fight. Man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's cool if you're going to fix up and if you got the skills to win, but let's not overdo it. You know, let's not overdo it. Mary Thomas said, can't wait to see Harrison versus Nunes. Yeah, I mean, if it happened, I mean, I couldn't wait to see what Nunes would be able to do too. Just to go ahead and do it at this point. Okay. All right, so Larea isn't committed. I don't see her being around for too much longer. The competition is too tough. Yeah, you might see her in BKFC, TJ, pretty soon. Might see her in BKFC in like another year or two. Cause you got to think too. Laredo, keep on Laredo with Laredo is she's ranked in the top 10 already, and I'm like, yo, like top 10, man. Laredo in the top 10 is crazy, because I just can't see her beating some of these ladies from 1 through 6 or 1 through 7. You know, Kate Jackson would beat her. Vita Arteaga would beat her. You know, so her being in the top 10, man, like, where would they push her if she beat Hannah Guy? Like, would she be number 7 or number 8 next? So eventually she would be fighting somebody like Kate Jackson, and then she would fight somebody like Lara. And I think Lara would beat her. Marcus said, I bet our girl Miranda Maverick can turn a Twinkie into a diet supplement. If she can turn like the Hostess cupcakes into one, I would be very appreciative, because I like those Hostess cupcakes a little bit better. But yeah, you turn that into one, shoot, I would be very appreciative of that. That Valerie Laredo is the champ, right? Statement is the ultimate most boxing fan. Exactly. I was like, what are you talking about? BKFC, no, Laredo wouldn't risk her face like that. She makes enough off simps. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you seen Rachel Ostovich. Rachel Ostovich, she risked her face. Paige risked her face. They just signed another girl from Muay Thai. Decent looking girl, you know, she's risking her face. So Yeah, BJ Lara is too big. Like, no, man, Sumiko Inaba, who fought on the card, she would give Laredo work. Sumiko Inaba, she would give Laredo work. If that fight happened, that would be, and she's only 3-0. She's 3-0. I don't know if y'all saw Sumiko Inaba, the Japanese girl that lives in Hawaii. That flyweight, yeah, that would be work. That would be work. That would be work. Robot Chicken said, "I love Maverick. You should interview her again." Yeah, I will. I haven't been doing too many interviews just because I've been so busy. Like I haven't had time to sit down and set any up. But yeah, I'll reach out to her. Like I reached out not too long ago, maybe like back in March, and she was like, "Yeah, we'll do it." But I had something come up, so I never scheduled a date. So I'll do it again. I'll probably try to reschedule whenever I have a chance. Yeah, when I get a chance, I will. Damn, that was already like a year ago when I talked to her. Damn. TJJ said Rose's fight was 118. She will fight again this year, in my opinion. Yeah. I think she probably will fight again this year. As long as she's healthy. She will have no choice because she has those other fighters she has a lot of rematches to choose from and commitments, fights to commit to. TJ said, "I like how Norma Dumont is some kind of a beast." Is now some kind of a beast. He said, "A fighter can't make weight, so she fights at 145, wins a split decision, and now she's the truth." Honestly, it wasn't a split decision. I thought she won every round, in my opinion. I thought she won every round. But she didn't ever say she was a beast. I mean, I was just reading her interview earlier, TJ. She said she was still trying to grow as a fighter. She doesn't want a title shot yet. What people say about Norma Dumont is one thing, but what she says about herself is another. And I feel like Norma Dumont is not a cocky fighter. Like I put an article out there where she said, "I'm not trying to fight for the title yet because I'm not ready." So she's not a cocky fighter. Like if people call her a beast, so be it. But she doesn't believe in that, TJ. Rose is talking about an Earthship project she wants to do, not her next competitor. Earthship project. I'm sorry, I was just reading something now. All right, so what else, y'all? I mean, pretty much talked about what I wanted to discuss tonight. Okay, yeah, TJ, that's what I was getting at. Like, I wasn't, if you were talking about other people saying that, fine, but Norma, her approach is the opposite. She's not championship contender material. She's not going to go in there and kill herself. BJ, if you want to elaborate, answering. Because I'm about to get off here in a minute, but if you want to answer him, BJ, go ahead and reply in the chat. Elaborate on that. I said she developed with her striking. I never said she was a beast. So I know you wanted to acknowledge BJ. So if you're there, BJ, elaborate. I'm right here. I'm not going yet. So what else? What else y'all want to talk about real quick? Any other questions? Any other questions before we wrap it up in another 15 minutes? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Mackenzie Dern or Marina Rodriguez fight tomorrow, and the Calvillo Andrade possibility of fighting. That's a good one. You know. Mr. Lee said, "How many candles were on your cake?" I didn't put any candles on my cake, but if you're asking my age, I put one candle. let's leave it at I put one candle. Robot Chicken said Norma striking isn't as bad. Isn't bad. She looked terrible against Megan Anderson. Yeah, she didn't even get a chance to really do anything with Megan Anderson. Like, she had her moments in the clinch, but Megan Anderson just put the right hand to her and said, "Done." Okay, BJ answered back, TJ. I said she's a beast, and I'm going to say it again. Norma Dumont is a beast. All right, Colton said, "Is Tatiana ready for Valentina right now?" Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you. Colton, is Tatiana ready for Valentina right now? No, she's not. Unfortunately, she's not, man. I think Tatiana Suarez, is going to need a few fights. In her interview, she talked about her not that young anymore, Mr. Lee. But, yeah, I'll take that. I don't want to get any older, but, yeah, I am. But, I'll take it. Yeah, because my birthday is today. I don't really tell a lot of people, but it is today. Like I said, birthday weekend. I was doing stuff Friday, Saturday, and today I'm chilling. But yeah, today is my birthday, so just don't really tell a lot of people. So, Tatiana's ready for Valentina. No, she's not, because Tatiana wants to test 125 first. With maybe a fight or two. And I think it really depends on what she looks like at flyweight. I think there's still some things that she needs to develop. Like, I need to see what her strength looks like at 125. I think that she'll be a little bit stronger, because she said when she fights at 115, her body felt a little bit weaker. And, I mean, if she felt weak, 125, she should be a beast, because Tatiana looks strong in her fights. But she always said fight night at 115, she felt weak. But we couldn't see it. We couldn't see it. But she said she felt weak. But, hey, if she fights at flyweight, she might be strong. We don't know. We don't know Colton. So, I think right off top, Colton, to answer your question, no, she's not ready. Maybe in like 2 years or something. Sad to say. She just got a lot of injuries right now. I think she could beat a lot of fighters in the strawweight division, but, Valentina, that's a different story. Sadly, man. Oh, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Running Reenie, Mr. Lee, Marcus Bell. Oh, no, Marcus Bell. Marcus Bell said, "Don't forget, Lauren Murphy will send you a birthday cake with a picture of her on top." Wow. Robot Chicken said, "No, I'm never doing that, Robot Chicken, but thanks." TJ said, "I'm 78 years old." Damn. Robert Henry asked if I'm 99. Thank you. The man that used to train Joe Frazier. Give combos some respect. Not Eddie Futch. I'm not as old as Eddie Futch. Rest in peace to Eddie Futch, but, if I know who Eddie Futch is, I might be a little older than you think, right? Yeah. Appreciate that, though, y'all. Appreciate that. Yeah, but I think y'all agree with me on that, right? Tatiana ain't ready for Valentina right now. It's really tough to say when she will be ready, man, because there's so much going on with her right now, as far as her injuries. I like her heart, though, man. Like, it sucks she got a lot of injuries because she has the heart to want to fight. Like Tatiana Suarez is the only fighter like I give a pass because she don't call anybody out. You know, Tatiana says she chooses not to call anybody out, but that works for her because she fights everybody, right? She'll fight anybody. She'll fight anybody. I gotta commend her for that. That's why I say, if Tatiana ain't gonna call a name out, that's fine. Because eventually, if she was to make her way up flyweight, she would fight Valentina. She wouldn't backtrack that. Oh, thanks, Mary Thomas. Robot Chicken said I went to school with Kumo D. How you like me now? Kumo D. Dang. All right, so Marcus said we had a fight card coming up June 5th, right? What do we got? Hold on, let's check it out. Let me see. What else we got coming up this week? Yeah, after 2 years off, it's a long time, man. It's a long time. Robert Harris said Tatiana did kind of call out Joanna one time. Yeah, she did. She did. And Joanna said she didn't want that fight. That would have been a good fight too. Yeah, TJ, I agree with that. I had said that I said that the other day, last week in a live stream. I was like, Tatiana versus Antonina, that would be a good fight. It's a soft touch for, getting into 125. Yeah, Shevchenko versus Suarez would be good. Yeah, I think we got to go with Tatiana on that. Or I would have gave her Andrea Lee, like she was talking about in the interview. Colton said, would Mackenzie Dern submit Carla? I was thinking of that the other day, Colton, man. Like, after watching Carla fight, I was like, if Carla got into a top position with Mackenzie Dern, Mackenzie's not going to lay there. Mackenzie's dangerous on the ground. Like, would Carla be strong enough and active enough to outwork Mackenzie Dern and just out-grapple her? I don't know, man. That would be tough, man. When it get to the ground, I don't know. I think she can. Mackenzie Dern, she could submit Carla. She could. I think she could. If Carla was able to beat her, though, man, I'd be like, whoa, okay, I got to give her credit. But I don't know. When Mackenzie Dern gets onto the ground, that's like all her. I think I think if they did get to the ground, I think off the top, I would say Mackenzie Dern probably would. Because she's like high level. Like, she's just next level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She considered a legend too. So if you get to the ground, she probably would. Yeah, Manon Firo and Moreau fight June 5th with Lipsky and Montana De La Rosa. I got y'all already know that. I got Firo in that fight. Manon Firo. I got Firo in that fight, and I got Lipsky and Montana De La Rosa, man. I don't know. What do y'all got? Like, I just don't think they show up like to make me feel comfortable predicting them fight. I don't see Lipsky and De La Rosa on this card. Maybe it's like, is it on the early prelims or something? I see Manon Firo and Marina Moreau. They're the first fight on the prelims Saturday at 4 p.m. Damn, early. Ariane Lipsky, where is that fight? Let's see. Ariane Lipsky. Is she scheduled to fight Montana on June 5th? Yeah, she is. They just didn't put it on the calendar up here. Marcus, I got Lipsky, but Lipsky is Montana's ceiling point. Yeah, it's a different story, man. When you get past, we'll say Montana get past Lipsky. From there, it's like, I don't know. That's something I always got right, TJ. My prediction, every time Montana's in a fight, I predict blood, and that you can always, you never go wrong on that bet, man. You never get wrong on that bet. There's always going to be some blood in her fight, boy. Let's see. Oh, Colton said, when is Miranda Mavericks back in action? She's back in action, July 24th? Macy Barber. Is it July 24th? Hold on, let me check. Exact date. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, Colton. Miranda Maverick will be back July 24th against Macy Barber. Man, that's going to be a good fight. That is going to be a good fight. I will try to get her back on before July. And the Robot Chicken said to get her back on. So, yeah, I'll get her back on. In this coming month, we'll talk. Maybe, about a month out from the fight, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll do that. Lipsky is average at best. We thought Antonina was a turning corner. Turning corner in reality. Lipsky is just as horrendous on the ground. Lipsky is training at ATT now. Be interested to see if she develops. Yeah, she's been developing with them. She's been training with them, so we'll see if she does develop. Colton said that's better than the top 5 flyweight fights. It really is, Colton. Macy's exciting, and Miranda's a good fighter as well. So it's a little bit more interesting than some of these top 10, top 5 fighters we got right now, man, for real. Jessica I know Colton ain't gonna like it. I'm missing Jessica I, but Jessica I, we'll see. I know a lot of people don't like Caitlin Chikagan either. They're getting bored with her style, but I like this Macy Miranda fight. It's exciting. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to toast the Mavericks' victory. TJ said, who thought at 38 Shevchenko was still developing? She's learned all she's got to learn. Talk about Grandma Modafari. Yeah, even with her approach, it doesn't really seem like she is doing a great deal of development, at 37, 38, I just don't really see a great deal of change in her either, like her approach. That's why a lot of these fighters tend to just go in there and disrespect her. They just go in there and do what they want to do. She's learned all she's got to learn yet. Well, Modafari is still out on recovery from surgery, right? I think her knee. She's still out. But yeah, man, real quick, just going back, man, before I get out of here. Yeah, I think, Carla, she deserves her rematch. Final thoughts on that. I think Carla deserves her rematch. I want to see Carla Esparza go in there, and challenge Rose, give Rose a good fight. It's a different look, though they fought before. It's been 7 years, and they both kind of went different ways. Rose has went her way. Got the belt once, lost it, got it back. Carla's kind of slowly been grinding her way back to the top. And, like I said, she's slowly been developing as a fighter, man. So I can't wait to see them match that up, man. So I want her to get her rematch before Zhang Weili does, honestly, man, because I think the fight will be a hell of a lot more competitive. We don't know if Zhang Weili is going to have the mental. I know she has the style if she can get going, but we don't know if she has the mental that's ready to have that type of pressure on her again, So let Carla get her fight. Don't make her wait a year. Don't make her fight another contender. She's at the perfect turnaround time. That's similar to Rose. Rose just fought last month, right? Carla just fought this month. So let them fight August or September. Good turnaround time for both, right? 4 or 5 months out from now, 6 months, whatever. September will be good. 5 months from now, make Carla and make Rose and Carla to September. That's fine with me. That'll work for me. Definitely, yeah. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. We had a good talk today. Hang on. There was something else I wanted to talk about real quick, I think. No, we talked about Valerie. Yeah, because Colton asked that. We talked about that already. Oh, yeah, Invicta card. I'll talk about that later, man, because that was a whole damn card, fights I just had to watch last night. So we'll talk about that later. All right, I'll be going in the 4-minute mark. We'll do this. Mr. Lee said, "Good night, fight church." All right, yeah, you may leave the building. I'm leaving in the 2-minute mark here. 3 minutes left. So before I leave, Robert Henry just sent the article that I'll read, and we'll talk about it real quick. All right, Scott Coker says the Cyborg Ngannou fight might not happen. Next, let's see why. All right, shout out to Robert Henry. He just sent me this article. Scott Coker unsure if Cat Zingano will be next for Chris Cyborg. Oh boy, what's his reason? Let's see. All right, Scott Coker sees a world where Zingano would challenge Cyborg for the belt, but he wasn't ready to immediately pull the proverbial trigger on the idea. That's one of the reasons we brought her here. She has a win over Nunes. I think it's something where she came over to fight Cyborg. She had a couple of fights and she feels really good about it. Will we do that fight next? I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have a conversation about it next week with everybody. Man, if it's not going to happen next, then I don't want to talk about it. I mean, we know her chances aren't that great, but that should be the next fight. That's why she came over here, right? That's why. Unless they make Cat fight somebody logical like Julia Budd, that would have made sense. Cat versus Julia Budd or Cat versus Leslie Smith. Winner fights Cyborg. That would have made more sense. They just had Cat fighting unranked fighters. Who did she fight last? She fought the girl that just got beat by Chelsea Chandler. Courtney King, right? Courtney King had no chance against Cat Zingano. They made that fight. Gabrielle Holloway before that was out of the game for 2.5 years. Had no chance with Cat. Cat should be in there with Arlene Blinko, Julia Budd, Olga Rubin. All right, Robert, peace. TJ said, if the Zhang rematch happens in Alabama, advantage Rose. If it's in Southeast Asia, we know. He said Alabama. Man, if it was in Alabama, you know what's up. Oh, man, some true colors, boy. They're going to really come out in Alabama. Oh, man. Yeah, with that, before I go, that's my final thought. Scott should just stop playing around and make the fight. But, man, thanks, everybody, for coming through. Thanks for the birthday wishes. And, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. hit the thumbs up on your way out. And yeah, like always, Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.